All right, we're live. What's up, guys? Mark the chef here, and today we're making Alfredo. And so immediately what we're gonna do is we're gonna put 8 ounces of pasta in our boiling salted pasta water. That might be a little less than 8 ounces, but it'll be all right. I'm doing this first because this will take the longest. It'll take a solid 8 to 9 minutes to get done. So while that's cooking, it's gonna come back up to a boil. We're going to start on our Alfredo sauce. So this is not your it's hard to describe. Traditional, really classic Alfredo sauce is made with butter and cream and is cooked down until it is thick. This uses a bechamel, which is one of the mother sauces. It's 3 or 5, I forgot. But basically, it's a sauce that you can use to make a bunch of other sauces. So we're going to use it to make Alfredo. This is not traditional, but is what a lot of people use to make their Alfredo sauces. It's quick, delicious, and it gets relatively the same flavor and results, so I like to do it instead. So we're gonna go a little bit off tradition here, and we're gonna add some extra flavors like garlic and then nutmeg. Well, nutmeg is actually traditional, but garlic, which is really gonna bring a lot of flavor to the party. So I added a tablespoon or so of butter to the pan. And we're just gonna let it melt for a second, all right? And then I'm gonna add in, let me get a teaspoon of garlic. A teaspoon of crushed garlic, that might be a teaspoon and a half. I don't really measure, so don't hold me accountable. So we'll add that to the pan, and we're just gonna let it cook for a second. Just to open up the flavor of the garlic, just bring a little color and a little depth of flavor to it. So this is on medium-high heat. Here in a few minutes, we're going to reduce the heat a little bit. Just trying to get a little bit of flavor and a little bit of color to the garlic. All right, and we're going to add in a tablespoon of butter. So what we're doing is we're making a roux. Butter, fat and flour that you heat up and you cook is a roux. And roux is a thickening agent. It's very classic. It is, I believe it's French, yeah. But it's used in a lot of different cultures.
You said butter, not flour.
Oh, excuse me. So yeah. So all a roux is equal parts fat. In my case, I'm using butter, but like the Cajun, whenever they're making gumbo, they use oil a lot of times. But it's equal part fat and flour. So it's a thickening agent. So right now, which I just added to it, was a tablespoon of butter and a tablespoon of flour. And you kind of get a paste. And along with the garlic, it's going to cook for a few minutes. So the more you cook a roux, the less thickening it will have, but the more flavor it'll have. It'll taste less like raw flour, less mealy and kind of not very good. It'll start tasting nuttier and more depth of flavor. So there's different stages. It goes from light to dark to, I might be skipping 1 or 2. Anyway, it goes all the way to like brick, where it's almost burnt. It's super dark. That's what a lot of Cajun recipes call for whenever they're making gumbo. They cook it for 45, 50 minutes over a stove, whisking almost constantly to not burn it. It's pretty intense. But all I'm doing is I'm going to cook it until it smells fragrant and kind of nutty, like toasted grains. So that should take no more than 5 minutes. If you're on medium to medium-high heat, should take closer to 2 or 3. So all we're doing now is just bring in color and flavor. Yeah, I'm starting to smell it already. So this will have a little less thickening power than just the straight up flour and fat. I don't know why. I don't know what it does when it cooks it, but the more you cook it, the less thickening it has, if that makes sense. All right, it's starting to smell good up in here. I'm gonna stir my pasta some. Having a camera adjustment over here. All right, that's nice. I don't know if you can see that. We'll get here in a second. But it's nice and dark brown. I don't know how well you can see that. But that's what we were looking for. So I'm going to kill the heat a little bit. I'm going to turn it to medium-low. And then I have a cup of milk, and I'm going to slowly add it in. Whisking constantly to incorporate it, because if you don't whisk, it'll clump up, kind of like it's doing on me now. Just keep slowly adding it. Spilling it everywhere, if you're like me. Just slowly adding it until it gets to a good consistency. Then pour it all in. All right, then we're going to bring the heat back up to medium-high. We're just going to whisk it, just to incorporate everything in there. Mine was kind of lumpy. I didn't mix it as well as I should have. This is kind of the wrong whisk for this pan. Can't really get in the corners, but it'll work. So we're just scraping off the bottom, making sure nothing's sticking, nothing's burning. And we're gonna bring it back up to a boil. So, oh, I just spilled milk everywhere. So while that's coming back to a boil, I'm gonna clean up a little bit. So this dish right here is, let me see. This was one of the first dishes that this is part of one of the first dishes I kind of developed on my own. I took a basic bechamel recipe. I added mozzarella and Parmesan. I'm skipping the mozzarella today. And I made a shrimp bechamel Alfredo kind of sauce. And so it was really good. And so whenever, Dad, can I tell a story about, all right. So whenever I went out, my family and I went up to Atlanta for the open casting call for MasterChef Junior. They called us back after we did our little interview at the wherever we're doing it. After we got done with
It was at a hotel.
at a hotel, once we got done with the first casting process, talked with the producers, fried an egg, just a bunch of stuff, just see how well we handle ourselves in the kitchen. They called us back about an hour later. I was actually at the top of the Ferris wheel in Atlanta when my dad got the call. He does not like heights, so he didn't go up there with us. They said, hey, we really like what we saw. We want to have you come meet us at this studio apartment, and we want you to cook us a signature dish, and we'll interview you. So we went to Whole Foods, and we got the supplies, and I made this, something similar to this dish, and that is really what I like to say got me on MasterChef Junior. That's what got my family and I, well, me and my mom invited out to Los Angeles. So
And it was the only thing you could cook at the time, Mark.
Not wrong. Yeah, so this is a really great dish. It's super basic. You can use this for tons and tons of different styles of dishes. You can go totally different places. It's really, really good. So our bechamel is pretty much done here. It's nice and creamy. I whisked out the lumps. If you go, here, it sticks to the back of the spoon. Run your finger down it, leaves the line. Doesn't have a lot of flavor now, which is completely fine. It's not supposed to. So this is where, oh, that was almost bad. This is where these ingredients come in. So I'm gonna hold it off on the salt for a second because we're gonna add salty pasta water, and then we're gonna add salt and the cheese. I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of pepper, a half a cup or so of grated Parmesan. I'm gonna leave a little bit less so we put it on top. Just gonna mix it all in. This is gonna make it nice and creamy. So you can use whatever types of melty cheese you want. You can use cheddar. I wouldn't do that. I'm not the biggest cheddar fan ever, but you can use cheddar if you like. You can add in mozzarella. I do that a lot, but I decided just to go classic with Alfredo, just to do Parmesan. You can add in Gruyere. That would be really good. Anything you want. Actually, I lied. Cheddar would be good. Bechamel is the base for a lot of sauces, like I said. So we're making kind of a cheese sauce. So you can take bechamel and you can add different types of cheeses and spices and turn it into mac and cheese. I lied. I'm sorry about that, guys. So yeah, this is one of the great reasons why it's something awesome to learn, because you can turn it into totally different types of dishes. So I'm gonna add in about half a teaspoon or so of freshly grated nutmeg. These things, I've had these for a couple years now. They just, as long as you keep them sealed in an airtight container, they really don't go bad. They're still nice and fragrant, so it works out well. All right, so our Alfredo sauce is done. It's nice and creamy, nice and thick. Probably won't add all of this to our pasta. We save a little bit for the side. That's good. Stay. All right, now it's time. We're just waiting on our pasta to get done. So I'm using penne. You can use whatever type of pasta you want. Shells. You can use shells, are really good. Oh, that's hot. Who would have thought? He's laughing at me. So basically what you want to do is you want to choose a pasta that can hold sauce. So penne has a hole down the middle, so this will hold up and soak up a lot of sauce. Okay, that is almost done.
So, Mark, why don't you shout out to Ben Smothers, who's watching from Texas?
How's it going, Ben? Long time no see. Y'all need to come visit us again, or we need to go visit y'all. All right, so the pasta is just about fully cooked. which is what we want. We don't want to cook it 100% of the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save no pasta. I'm going to save a little bit of pasta water. We're going to use this as a thickening agent to kind of incorporate it all. That should be enough.
Don't drink it.
Yeah, do not drink it. It's going to be really salty, really hot, and really starchy. Speaking of hot, that is hot.
Ben wants you to know that the stovetop is hot, Mark.
The stovetop is indeed hot. Thank you, Ben.
And,
All
your,
right.
and your buddy Josh is expressing concern as well.
Thank you, Josh. I'm fine. I'm fine. Wasn't fine when we didn't catch any fish the other day. So thanks for that. All right, so we're going to drain this pasta. One of the worst injuries I've ever got in the kitchen was when I was younger and draining pasta, so be super careful. Yeah, I was like 8 or 9 at the time, and I was, all right, there's no easy way to do this because this thing got too hot. All right. All right, hopefully this will work. Yeah, I was making macaroni at the time, Kraft mac and cheese, and I just covered my hand in boiling water. It was not fun. Ow, that was hot. All right. So what we're going to do is we drained off our pasta. We'll have to put ointment on that later. And then we're going to start putting in, I'd say about 3/4 of the sauce. We're going to see how it looks. Put that in there. Set that to the side and bring this back over to the heat. All right, then we're going to add in a little bit of this pasta water here. So what the pasta water will do right now is it'll give us something to thicken the whole sauce and give it to coat it, because the starch in the pasta water, the starch that covers the pasta, a lot of it boils off into the water, and it leaves it really, it's a good thickening agent. It doesn't add really any calories, and it's just the perfect thickening agent. You don't have to add more cream, more butter, more flour. It's all there in the pasa water, and that's all you really need.
Do you want to tell about the time you were on Chop Junior and you added cornstarch to everything to thicken it?
What about that? It worked. The dishes I used needed cornstarch to thicken it. Okay.
But you tried to get the rest of the contestants to add cornstarch as well.
For real? I don't remember that. I honestly do not remember that.
So and Amanda Freitag rolled her eyes at you.
I don't remember that at all. I apologize. So all I did was I added a little more pasta water until it's kind of liquid on the bottom, and so I'm gonna let it come back to a boil to finish cooking the pasta and its sauce. So not only will that bring the pasta until it's fully done, it'll kind of soak in the pasta sauce a little bit better. So it's looking good. All right, that was hot. I got a lot of water on my hand, on my arm, excuse me. So it's not fun. So I'm gonna clean up a little bit more. That's all I really do ever, is clean up. Have our cheese, salt, and pepper, because we're going to adjust the seasoning here at the end. Let this come to a boil real quick. Finish cooking. And we're almost done. This is super quick, super simple, and you can go totally different direction. All you have to do is just make a bechamel, which is just a roux, which is just flour, equal parts flour and a fat. I used butter. And then you're going to add milk, enough milk to make it about a cup or so per tablespoon of butter and flour. Make your roux, add in your milk, and then you have your bechamel. You can go totally different directions with it. I added Parmesan cheese, nutmeg, salt, and pepper, and I made Alfredo. You can add regular cheese, skip the nutmeg, add paprika. You can make a cheese sauce, kind of like for mac and cheese. Just totally different directions you can go. All right, this looks good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scoop it. Well, first of all, let me be smart. Let me be semi-professional. Let me try it just for seasoning. Try not to burn my mouth. That's good. Definitely needs more salt and pepper. Lots of pepper and a little less salt. All right. Season that up. I just spilled it over the stove. I have to clean that up later anyway, so why not make a mess while I'm at it? All right. Try it one more time.
Are you going to plate it?
Yes, I'm going to plate it. All right. It's actually really good. I surprise myself sometimes. So we're going to just pour it all on the plate. This is going to be my lunch. Yeah, it's going to be my lunch. All right, that's actually a lot of pasta. I overestimated how much pasta I had. All right, then we're going to top off with a little more Parmesan cheese. So here is where you can make it a complete meal. You can add in tomatoes. You can add in chicken. Originally, we were going to make chicken Alfredo. I decided against it. You can add in all types of vegetables, and then you can make it a full meal. Or if you like meat, you can just have pasta Alfredo. So that's how you make Alfredo sauce. I added in penne pasta. I made it kind of a traditional cheese sauce. Yeah, that's that. So thank y'all for watching. If you make this, go ahead and post a picture, tag me. I'll head on over, like it, we get a little conversation going, talk about it. You have anything to say?
No.
We're good? We're good? All right. Thank y'all for watching. I'm Mark Koblenz, a.k.a. Mark the Chef. Hope you enjoyed this. So see y'all next week, same time, same place. Hope to see you there.